What up? It's Jimmy from Odds.com. This is a clip from our big NBA show. To check out the entire show, hit the link at the bottom of the screen. It's available exclusively on Odds.com. We move on. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Brooklyn Nets 23-13, 10-7 on the road at Houston Rockets. 11-22, 5-9 at home. We're at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. This is going to be fun. Watching Harden come back to Houston. The Rockets are 6.5-point dogs right now. And I'm surprised at that number. I thought it was going to be bigger than that. I imagine that it's going to get bet pretty heavy. I'm guessing that the 6.5s aren't going to be there. We've seen some offshores just open it. Some offshores have just opened this at 7.5. So it's sitting at 6.5 at FanDuel. And I think this hits 8, at least 8 by tip-off. Nets pace last 5, 25th in the NBA, 97.76 possessions a game. They're not playing very fast, and they are scoring a lot of points. Rockets pace last 5, 12th in the NBA, 100.30 possessions a game. Nets bounced back from having their 8-game winning streak halted in a 115-98 loss at home versus Dallas on Saturday night. That was about the most difficult second half of any game I've watched, maybe since the Niners Super Bowl. Without Kyrie Irving, and obviously, the problem was when Kyrie went out, I added the Harden props, which was a mistake. They bounced back at San Antonio on, when did they do this? On Monday, 124-113 win in overtime. It snapped a 7-game losing streak in San Antonio for Brooklyn. Harden became the first player in NBA history to go for 30 points, 15 rebounds, 10 assists, triple-double with no turnovers. It was Harden's 7th triple-double in 22 games with Brooklyn since being traded. Kyrie added 27. Bruce Brown had 23. Durant missed his 8th straight game with left hamstring injury. He will not be back until after the All-Star break. Jeff Green, shoulder. Luwalu Cabarrot, knee. Both listed as doubtful. Rockets are coming off their 12th straight loss, 101-90 at home to the Cavaliers. They're being outscored by an average of 18 points a game on this losing streak. They were out-rebounded 57-36. Not one Rocket had over 6 rebounds. The Cavaliers turned the ball over 21 times, yet won comfortably. Wall went for 32. Oladipo went for 20. No one else scored more than 8. And Oladipo didn't sign that extension. Now he's looking for a long-term contract. So, I guess, yeah. So it's not – I don't know if that's a cut to the Rockets. I just think he wants a term. Rockets are a beat-up squad. Christian Wood, ankle out until after the All-Star break. Dante Exum, calf in a walking boot, no timetable. Rodion's crux, oblique. David Nwaba, wrist. They're day-to-day, but will not be in the lineup Wednesday. Eric Gordon, Daniel House, they're both questionable to play. They both have knee injuries, and they're going to be needed.
Right.
Very interesting spot, Wham. This is a game that you wanted to attack, so let's hear you do just that. Nets, Rockets.
Now, the Rockets are falling out the sky more often than the Elon Musk science project. John Wall is noticing this as well. After the game, him having that 30 points, which was a hard 30 points for him to get, bro. He said that this team is ass, bro. They got Justin Patton, who they just got in the lineup, shooting threes. This is some desperation shit going on right here, bro. The Rockets, their last 12 games in a row, they lost their last 12 games. And as much as the Knicks first half streaking, the Houston Rockets fans, they out here weeping, bro. Now, as far as this Kyrie news, though, Kyrie is kind of sticking up for Harden. This is kind of an emotional comeback. Harden is kind of loved in the community. Him coming back is, it's going to be some emotions there. I think that's the reason why they said that they're going to retire his jersey the day before that they play him. This is some dysfunctional stuff going on with this Rockets team organization. You could already know because we already know back behind the scenes, Daryl Morey had a better deal for them. They didn't want to do any business with him. So that's kind of biting them back in here. And I think that's alluding to the Victor Oladipo news as well, man, because him not signing that extension is bad for the trade bait. They're trying to trade him off with some sort of contract. Him having an expiring contract, it's kind of hard to move him, man. So that's kind of biting them long term there. But let's go here into some of these stats now. We're going to see a killer, man. I think that's the books are just giving us a blessing, bro. I thought it was going to be at like 10, 11 opening up here because This is a trash team in the Houston Rockets. I mean, John Wall just called him ass after the game. I did say that. And this is the number one effective field goal percentage team in the Brooklyn Nets. And they don't even have KD for most of this year, bro. You know what I'm saying? So this is only going to get more scarier. As far as this team and Houston Rockets, yeah, they were playing good defense. So they are ranked number 8 in effective opponents, effective field goal percentage for the season. But they're still ranked 14th for opponents' 3-point percentage. This James Harden prop, I believe a lot of cappers that we know have been riding the over 3.5 threes. It's been cashing on the crazy streak. The Nets here, they're number 2 in 3-point percentage, bro. 40% shoot from 3. They're number 8th in first quarter points per game, while the Houston Rockets are allowing the 24th most here at 29 points. So they're giving up a lot of points early. And this team in the Nets, bro, I just bet I had them last game against the Spurs. I had them in the first half. They cashed. They covered the last 8 of the last 10 games in the first half. This is a good team to take early. This is a good spot to take early. If we could get this line to stay at 6, you know, if the books are trying to bait us here, I'll take both sides, bro. The first half and the full game here. I'm going to take them full game though, because we're getting just a good number at 6.5. I like that, bro. I don't think that this Rockets team is that good. They're all over the place, and I honestly feel bad for Silas. Honestly, you get your first year, you know, to go down with the ship sinking here. It's just kind of bad. So lock me in, bro. Lock me in with the Rockets, bro.
It's a nice line, and
against the Rockets,
it's a nice line. No doubt about it. The Nets minus 6.5 or minus 110. I only give out the spots that I'm betting, and this is not going to be available for me. And if it was available for me right now, I would take it right now, just like you. Minus 6.5, minus 110. It's a great. It pays to shop at night, and that's what we're doing here. We're shooting. It's 12:10 a.m. on the East Coast. 9:10 a.m. in LA, where Wham is coming to us from. Minus 6.5, minus 110 at FanDuel. I agree. And I also am interested in the Nets first half. I don't want Harden props because there's a good chance that he doesn't have to play for the last 8 or 10 minutes of this game. And that happens when they're losing, and that happens when they're winning. Sadly, it was such a nightmare second half. I don't know if I'm ever going to get over it. It was just awful for me. I like it. Wham makes a ton of sense. So Wham is on the Nets full game minus 6.5 at minus 110, and possibly the first half. We'll see what the number is when it comes out. Sure. But
you gotta fade the Rockets at this point as well. They only covered 1 of the last 10 games in the first half. So,
and as I said, they've lost by an average of 18 points on this losing streak. Well, we have Wham on the board with the Sixers money line and the Nets minus 6.5.